For the Gen Zs, I think they came in the right time. They have a reform agenda, which is a very good thing. Kenya has now a population of 60 million. In the next 20 years, we'll have maybe like 80 million or 90 or 100, which means that the basket has to expand. We have to create more wealth. We have to create more employment. We have to create more opportunities. If those opportunities shrinks, God forbid, this country will be unmanageable. And that is the point that I want to make, that today, this country, things are no longer, they can no longer be the same. It can be an advantage in the sense that if you harness these skills, you can develop this country to another level. You can also export this excess manpower abroad. But the Gen Zs, yes, they're doing a good job, but you can't take law in your hands. But they brought the reforms. It was a wake-up call for the government, because they're asking for good governance. They're asking questions which political leaders are not asking. So in a way, they are like the fourth estate, checking on the government, keeping the government on their toes. So this reform agenda they're carrying isn't bad after all. For the last 6 months, from January to June, Kenya imported 35,000 plus vehicles. The same period in 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023, Kenya imported more than 100,000 plus vehicles, meaning that the economy is shrinking. That our economy is shrinking by 60%. So once the economy shrinks, that means there'll be no employment. That means there's no growth. That means there's no wealth. That means many businesses will collapse. That means many people will be fired, not hired. NHIF right now wants to, retrench people, 50% of the workers, and many other parastatals, because it's not sustainable. Many industries are closing. Why? The fixed and variable factors are very expensive. Electricity is expensive, tax is high, water is expensive, running business, fuel is expensive. So virtually you can't run businesses here. Many factories are closing. Why are they closing? Because it's not conducive to do business in Kenya. So the cost of power must come down. The cost of the tax must go down, tariffs. The cost of licenses, all those things must come down to create conducive environment. Government normally, in a recession economy like ours, government normally reduces the tax, not increasing tax. So government must listen to Gen Z to reduce tax so that you spark growth. You support government by giving, rebates. You cancel debts for companies which are undergoing, a lot of stress, distress. So those are the things that you can help the Kenyan government and the country at large.
So I know
Climate change is a reality. It's not something you can wish away. The temperatures are soaring up. We have excess heat. We have every 2 years we have droughts, and subsequent we have a famine. Now every 2 years we have drought. And then after a while, when it rains it's torrential and floods. For a year later, you have no water. So what is the problem? First, we are not, taking advantage of those rains. We need to harness the water, dump it, and make sure that we do irrigation. Because rain-fed agriculture is not now something to rely on. If you go to Egypt today, we import food from them. We import fruits from them. It is a desert country, but it's all about planning. The economy in northern Kenya, I think the government must be very realistic on what's happening. The only place to expand in terms of land, because the Kenyan population, if you look at the trajectory, it means that the only land available will be northern Kenya. So we need to irrigate that land. We need to have good governance in terms of now the way we spend money. It's a good land. You can grow anything. Cotton, particularly cotton, maize. You can grow millet. You can grow rice. You can grow sugarcane. It's a very fertile land. Yet we are not harnessing it. So Kenya has become a retail of importing goods from Israel, from Egypt, from from Malaysia, from India, rices from India, Pakistan, all. We just, and then whatever we produce, we send it abroad raw. If it's coffee, raw. If it's our tea, raw. We don't have any value addition. So in northern Kenya, people still, the poverty levels are high. It's very underdeveloped. It's the only region which has no tarmac road. Of course, now they're starting the Isiolo, Marsabit, Isiolo Mandera Road, which will take maybe another 5, 6, 7 years. There's no tarmac road to connect us to Somalia. So this is a glaring point, and a point the government should know that people, 60 years after independence, they are not connected. When it rains, you can't travel. Yeah, when it's dry, animals are dying, and there's no food for the people. There's serious food security issues there that need to be addressed by government. If at this age people are dying of hunger because there's no food, then something is fundamental wrong with us. Why were we fighting for independence if we can't feed ourselves? Yet we have the best land. We have rivers. We have good people. We have technology. We have highly skilled Kenyans. During colonial time, people are not dying for hunger. Why are we dying for hunger now? Why are people suffering? So these are things that